Oh, here we go. It's stopped now. So do we have radio air? Do we have air? Can you hear us? I'm not sure this is plugged in, is it? We should be able to hear it.
You need to turn yourself up, but you are live.
Am I live? Well, this is fantastic news. Woohoo! Well, we'll turn ourselves up a bit. Well, mic 2 is coming on too. There we go. Brilliant.
We have a few technical difficulties at the start.
Technical difficulties, that would be one way of putting it. I'm going to try and play an audio, little bit of audio here, a little sound bite. Let's see how I do it. Just click play.
Scott Mills from Radio 1, and you're listening to Source Radio.
Source! Yay, fantastic. Well, you should have heard Scott Mills there, hopefully. Now, we're going to basically start off tonight by talking about some Champions League reaction from the other night.
Well, I think we should introduce ourselves first, Josh.
But first of all, as Michael says, we are going to introduce ourselves. So I'm Josh, as a third-year politics student, and international relations, which is also very important.
And I'm Michael, and I do the same course as Josh.
And over in the corner, we have Sidekick Paul.
Sideshow Paul, right?
Well, Sideshow Paul.
Sideshow
he's calling
Paul,
himself his own name here, so I hope you can hear him, because I've hopefully turned his mic on. I am technology still in the Middle Ages. I'm just going to apologise now.
I'm just going to talk for a little bit so that I can perhaps hear myself speaking, and I can hear myself clearly. Here we go. Love the delay. Love the delay.
So, Michael, what do you want to get out of this show?
Well, I think it would be great if we can cover the week's action. While also perhaps looking at the funnier side of football.
Absolutely.
And of course, you're a cricket enthusiast, I know, so there'll be the odd bit of
guilty.
Cricket in there, and we'll find some other wacky sports along the way, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I think one we were looking at tonight is chess boxing.
Chess boxing.
Have you ever heard of chess boxing? Because if you haven't, you should. It's fantastic.
I've never heard of chess boxing, and I can't wait to hear what it sounds like.
I tell you, it's going to be fantastic. Right, so to start the show, hopefully, we're going to play a song. As I said, it's all going to be about 90s music.
Yep.
And the whole idea is that we're going to play some songs that reflect the day. We are going to we're trying to find... hopefully we've got the songs here. Although, mind you, these aren't quite what we were looking for. But we're going to try and start off the show with U2, Beautiful Day. Okay?
Of course.
If we can find it, that is.
UB40, but no U2.
Oh, no, terrible.
No U2, someone's got good taste.
We were planning to start with Beautiful Day. If not, we'll have to start with someone else. Well,
looks like we're not going to have a U2.
We're not going to
have
U2.
What other songs could reflect the day, guys?
What other songs could reflect the day?
That's a good topic, actually.
That's a very good topic. Right, so, okay, we're not going to start with U2. That's completely wrong, unfortunately. And just please put that down to technical issues. Our first show, and hopefully it will get a lot better from here. So we're going to start off with a little bit of Gym Class Heroes.
90s?
Yeah, okay, it might be 90s. But we're going to start off with Gym Class Heroes, Close Off. Well, now I'm a little bit more relaxed. Sorry about this. We've had a crazy day.
Couldn't get in here for a start.
Couldn't get in. I mean... No,
all locked up.
All locked up, but hey-ho, we carry on. So, as we said, I'm Josh, Michael and Paul, and a lot of you listening probably know us quite well. And as we said, well, I hope you do. So yeah.
But if they don't, they can get to know us.
So they can get to know us.
Over the course of the next 2 hours, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, right. Well, so we're going to start with the Champions League reaction. So obviously... Huge game on Tuesday night on Wednesday night from the Emirates Stadium. Huge game on Tuesday night from the City of Manchester Stadium.
Or the Etihad.
Or whatever it will be called in the future.
Whoever sponsors
it next. Obviously, the two big talking points of the week are the two red cards. Michael, Paul, I'm sure you won't disagree with me when I say both of those red cards were completely just.
I think they were both completely just. Especially the Demichelis one. I mean... I don't know what he was thinking. That stage in the game, not only to take the red card, like that's one thing if you want to do that, well, that's outside the box, but to give away the penalty as well anyway. So you're losing a man, and they're pretty much going to get a goal anyway.
Absolutely.
It's true, but you've got to remember, I suppose it's a split-second decision at the end of the day. If you're sort of in the mindset, it becomes sort of muscle memory. I mean, can you really blame Demichelis for putting a challenge in, or do you have to blame Pellegrini for playing Demichelis?
I think that's an issue. You have to wonder a team that spent as much as City have having to rely on a defender such as Demichelis in the Champions League game against Barcelona.
Well, that tackle to me looked like a tackle of someone who had lost a yard of pace.
Definitely. How old is he now? He must be like...
Did he ever have a yard of pace?
Well, again, that's a fantastic question. I mean, he isn't exactly an
I remember him always being suspect, though, because I remember a few years ago when Bayern played United in the Champions League that he looked off the pace back then, and that was like 4 years ago.
This is true. So I ask you, after John Terry's really good performance against Chelsea in the FA Cup, should really...
Chelsea.
I'll swap out Chelsea even. Sorry. Wrong way around. Sorry, even I meant to say... Start that again. After Lescott's really good performance against Chelsea, although Terry also, I have to say, they missed him in that game. So that's where the, comes in.
Yep.
After Lescott's fantastic performance in that FA Cup match, why? Why did Pellegrini not play him? I mean, a lot of people I've heard have been saying he's one of, Demichelis is one of his journeymen. As in, Harry Redknapp takes, his players
Peter
around
Crouch
the
or
land.
Nico Cranch or something,
Benoit Asuakoto, fantastic haircut. Fantastic haircut.
That's a topic for another day.
That's a topic for another day.
No, I think he's struggling. You can't really judge him off of one game. It's a big game against Barcelona. He's probably thought to himself, Demichelis has got more experience. He's played more Champions League knockout games than Jordan Lescott has, so he'd probably be the wise choice. And to be fair, until the red card, I mean, City defensively weren't looking that bad, really. I mean, I didn't see Barcelona looking like they were going to score anytime soon. Admittedly, City, on the other end, didn't look like they were going to score, but at least they were keeping it tight. It was just one lapse of judgment.
Well, personally, I think, and I don't know if sidekick Paul agrees with me, that if Demichelis wasn't sent, I thought the momentum was building over the... Started off I think Barcelona was about 75% possession after about the first 15 minutes, but City were just edging their way into the game, and I thought... Before that tackle, I thought City were going to win it. As the pundit said on ITV, I thought City were going to come good and were going to take the win.
As soon as you go down to 10 men against Barcelona, because they pass it around you for days, like as it is normal. But again, when a man light, you've got absolutely no chance. I didn't watch all of the game, I'll be honest. But whenever I looked at it, Man City players were just standing still because they just
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere when you're playing against against Barcelona, you've got to defend as a unit, but there was just too many individuals out there.
I think they were trying to replicate the Chelsea style of playing Barcelona, where you get men behind the ball, you keep it tight as much as you can, and then you try and break away and nick a goal. And to be fair to them, at 0-0, you've always got a chance of that happening.
Oh yeah.
It's just as soon as that tactic goes belly up, really, when you go down to 10 men, then what do you do? What's your plan B?
Yeah,
you then just got to defend for your life.
You do, and it was such a shame they gave the second goal away, actually. I thought if they actually had held on for a 1-0 defeat, I think Pellegrini would have, well, he's going to have to now anyway, given the score, but I thought he would have sent his side out 1-0 down with a real chance there. I think at least they could get a goal. I think they would have gone 4-4-2. Negredo and Aguero hopefully fit again.
That's a big point, Aguero.
Well, of course,
what difference would it make if they had him playing in that first leg as opposed to just Negredo on his own up front?
No, of course, absolutely. I mean, you can't deny that Aguero is probably one of the best free Premiership players.
I mean, they look so toothless in attack sometimes when he's not playing.
They do.
He makes such a difference. So, you can obviously understand why they feel a bit aggrieved about him being injured for it.
But what interests me about this game, and this is a comment, of course, Jose Mourinho came out earlier in the week and said this Barcelona side was the worst in recent times. But to be honest with you, after watching that game on Tuesday night, those comments are rubbish, aren't they, Michael? Absolute rubbish.
I think you can take any comment that Jose Mourinho makes about another team with a pinch of salt.
Yes,
because there's always a hidden agenda there, I think. And you can see he's trying to rile up Pellegrini.
To be fair, he does seem to have, in terms of mind games, I think his record against Pellegrini and management in Spain and now in England is extraordinarily good. I mean, it's fantastic. He does seem to have the hold on him.
It was coming off the back of City not beating them in the FA Cup as well, so perhaps he's trying to get some points back in that regard.
Yeah, I think the momentum may have swayed very much towards Chelsea after the league game. The FA Cup game maybe just brought it back to the centre a bit. I mean, we have also done our Premier League predictions for the season, which we'll read out later. But I will tell you this, I've got Man City winning the league, and Michael has Man City winning the league too.
I too have Man City winning the league.
Yes, yeah, we have it very tight.
It is very tight between them and Chelsea.
We will read out our predictions later. Anyway, okay, now it's time to play another song, and this was a song I originally promised you. So, fingers crossed this time, yeah, you're going to be able to hear this one. And just before I do this, I'd like to give a shout out to Ollie Spadini, listening in Raglan House, student accommodation. He can hear me, I bet he can. And I'd like to give out a shout out to me and Paul's mates in Spain, Ryan Braun and Jamie Pattle.
Hola,
senoritas. Yes, no, they're not senoritas.
Ryan, maybe.
Well, Ryan, maybe. Well,
We're not so sure,
he can
are we?
defend himself on Facebook.
Bit of a mystery.
And also, my question for you today is best sporting attaches. Can you please, if you're listening and would like to send in the best sporting moustache, please write it down on the Facebook group, and we'll try and get to it. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a song I wanted to bring you right at the beginning. I'd like to give a shout out to Elliot Frost as well. How on earth I forgot this man. Big up to you there in Madrid, Frosty. I hope you're having a good time. Knowing you will be. I'd like to give a shout out to Tamsin Ford. I hear you're listening too. So shout out to another Cov local, Tamsin. Evening. And now we'd like to move on to the Arsenal game the other night. So, Michael.
Well, before we move on to the Arsenal game, I'd just like to say we've already received a great tash.
Oh, really? Oh, this is fantastic. Can you tell us?
My friend Ben Stratton has posted Michael Owen's moustache. You can see it on the Facebook group now. That is one hell of a tash.
Handlebar, isn't it? That's a real
Oh, my
handlebar.
Lord.
There's a Mitchell Johnson. It does look like Mitchell Johnson's as well, which is fantastic.
The kind of one I think we all wish we could grow.
Absolutely. So, yes, and also I have to point out, after we do this segment on Arsenal, we're going to move on to our sports raps, which you people, I really hope you enjoy listening to. We've been given, this week, me and Michael are setting each other a challenge every week.
Yeah.
Where we're going to challenge each other to produce a corny piece of absolute garbage that we want to read out on air, related to any sport. And I chose the first topic, which was tennis of all sports. So we had one fantastic rap as well from a viewer, a listener, I should say, on the radio. My friend Jamie Pattle. Another shout out to him in Sweden. And I'll read that out to you later. That was definitely the best one I received this week, Michael. So yeah, it was a top one. So yeah, no, going back to the Arsenal game then. As we discussed earlier, the red card was obviously the big talking point, but Mesut Ozil as well. We have to talk about Mesut Ozil because, I mean,
what's happened to him?
He's just not doing it, is he?
Well, the thing is about Ozil, I thought at the time the signing of the player was more of a statement about Arsenal as a football club and where they wanted to go.
Definitely.
Yes.
So, and people may have wrongly attributed the form of Ozil to Arsenal's league position at the start, well, where they are now even. I mean, but let's be honest. I think everyone's forgetting Aaron Ramsey.
That's true. Yeah. Ramsey was scoring quite a lot of goals at the start of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, you know, we talk about Gareth Bale being the best Welshman in the world. Well, Aaron Ramsey would challenge him at the start of this season. Well, absolutely. Well, he would be. He's the best player in the world according to transfer fees. But I'll say this. I mean, yeah, I mean, Aaron Ramsey at the start of the season probably was the better one of the two, and now he's injured. Arsenal have missed him, and they will miss him. And I think I have to be honest with you. I think we're looking at dark times for Arsenal, and I'm afraid to say I think they're about to blow up again at this stage of the season. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans.
Ozil, in some ways, is now the typical Arsenal player who starts well, is like having a good season. It gets to the crunch time of February, March, and then just falls away completely. That seems to be Arsenal in a nutshell nowadays.
Paul, do you agree with that statement?
I have to agree slightly. I think there's too much pressure on him now. That price tag, there's a lot of expectation on his shoulders.
It's like Wenger's got moths in his wallet anyway, so any time he cracks it open, let's be honest, everyone's a bit shocked anyway. So yeah, no, it was a huge, more of a statement I thought by Arsenal, and that's why I don't think they'll drop him. They don't seem to want to drop. I think what he needs desperately is a little break. I mean, he has been in the team.
This is the thing. Arsene Wenger just doesn't seem to want to give him any rest whatsoever. He seems to be playing every single game at the moment.
Yeah, I know.
And it's so obvious that he needs some form of rest.
It is so obvious.
And maybe they're so reliant on him that Wenger can't bring himself to do it, especially with Giroud out as well.
Giroud, of course, who's hopefully, according to the BBC, he should be back in the Arsenal side tomorrow. But brings us on.
Yeah, going back to the game though, what are your opinions on the red card for Szczesny?
I think it's a red.
I think we're adamant it was a red. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it was such a harsh pill for Arsenal to swallow, given the way they played. Actually, I have to be honest, I thought Arsenal were fantastic in the first half.
First 15 especially.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all over Bayern, and that was their chance, especially when Ozil won the penalty and then missed it. I mean, that kind of killed the momentum a bit, really. But still, they were so impressive. And then it's just one move, one ball over the top, and what do you know? It's a penalty and a red card.
Yeah, and that just seemed to be the way for English clubs this week, didn't it? Really.
The one problem I have with the whole red card for last man foul in the box is a red card is supposed to be given when you're taking away a goal scoring opportunity. But I would argue when you get the penalty anyway, that's a goal scoring opportunity.
Especially if the penalty is scored. Why should someone have to suffer double jeopardy?
Exactly.
You know, my opinion is, and always has been, that once a player has brought someone down in those circumstances in the box, a red card should be given. However, if the penalty is saved or the penalty is missed, if the penalty is scored, the red card is immediately rescinded, so the player can return to the game.
That's an interesting idea.
The only problem with this, of course, about feasibility is with goalkeepers. So if a goalkeeper like Szczęsny brings someone down, then what do you say? Do you say you can bring the sub on?
Yeah.
Maybe actually make football a bit more interesting. You put one of the outfield players in goal for the penalty, wouldn't it?
I think you could have it a bit more black and white if you just said outside the box, last man red, inside the box, last man penalty and a yellow.
But of course, then this is the thing. This is the never-ending debate of the scenario. Is that, well, of course, if they miss the penalty and it's a yellow card and it's a foul in the box,
away with it.
He's got away with it. And this is the big question about football, and this is why we all love talking about it, because there are so many. It's not always black and white in the beautiful game. Let's put it that way. And this is a very good example of that. Okay, well, I think we've discussed the Champions League for a bit, so we're going to move on now to the weekend's football. And the fixtures this weekend: Chelsea, Everton, Arsenal, Sunderland, Cardiff, Hull, Manchester City v Stoke City, West Bromwich Albion at home to Fulham, West Ham United at home to Saints, Crystal Palace at home to Man United. Then on Sunday we have Liverpool versus Swansea, Newcastle United versus Aston Villa, and Norwich City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Every week me and Michael are going to be challenging each other, and sidekick Paul as well.
Sideshow Paul.
Sideshow Paul. I keep calling him Sideshow. He wants Sideshow.
You initially called me Sideshow Paul. I don't know how you can get it so wrong.
I don't know. See, now I keep calling you. I'm not sure what your name is. That's the problem. You've got to make a decision.
You've got to
stick to it now.
Yourself.
Stick to it. What would you like to be?
Sideshow.
He's going with Sideshow. Sideshow Paul. We're going to be challenging each other every week to see how many of these predictions we can get right. So this week we, as in the BBC style system, Loro and his system, we're going to avoid 3 points for a correct score, 1 point for the correct result. Yeah. And we'll tap them up at the end of the year. Yeah, nothing special, but we'll just see who wins.
Just see who
knows more about football. So I'll read out this week's predictions. I've gone.
Shall we go round the table?
Yeah, you can start.
Yeah, Paul.
Let's start with the Chelsea game then.
Yeah, Chelsea Everton. So I'll just go into the background for this one. Cherry, according to the media outlet I used earlier, John Terry is definitely going to be playing tomorrow. Louise is out injured apparently, and Gary Cahill is also a doubt. So, I mean, Chelsea might be a little bit short centre half. I imagine Ivanovic will come in the centre. But of course, it's less of a problem given the fact that Lukaku obviously is not allowed to play against Chelsea. So, you know, if you're missing a couple of centre backs, you don't want to play against Lukaku. I mean, He's one of the strongest, best. I'd say he is one of the best centre forwards in the league. One of the only
benefits of loaning him out, I guess.
Yeah,
have to play against him.
Absolutely. And Everton have just been going for a funny little phase recently. Their last 6 matches, they've won 2, drawn 2, lost 2 in the Premier League. So, yeah, they've been going for a little bit of a tougher patch because it has all been so rosy for them. They've drawn quite a lot of games this season, but
I think put that down to squad size, really.
Yeah, squad size has definitely had made a difference. Everton obviously don't have the finances the other. But looking ahead to tomorrow's game, well, I'll start with my prediction. I've gone for Chelsea 1, Everton 1. As it's an early kick-off, I think maybe Everton might just be able to catch him a bit cold in the morning. I think that Chelsea at home may just be a little bit flat, may have their eyes on the Champions League later in the week. And Everton, as I said, I think they've only lost 4 or 5 games all season. So
it'll be very hard to beat.
Hard to beat. I think they'll be well organised. Martinez will have them well organised. And if they get an early goal, then I can see it being a tight game. And that's why I've gone with Chelsea 1, Everton 1, Michael.
Well, I've gone for Chelsea 1, Everton 0. Another low-scoring game. But I think Chelsea, just with Mourinho, they just seem to know how to get it done. They know how to get the wins.
That's what title-winning teams always seem to be able to do.
I think Everton will make it hard for them. They'll be stubborn, but I think Chelsea will just about edge it against Everton.
Oh, very good.
I've gone for a score draw like yourself, Josh, but 2-2 I've gone for.
The big guns.
2-2, yes.
I'll tell you what, Well, 2-2, I'd take that. That'd be exciting on MOTD tomorrow night.
I think Everton's going to sneak in a goal right at the end.
Really?
I think, yes. I think Everton, they've just got something about them at the moment.
Pienaar in front of the shed end.
Even though they don't have Lukaku.
I think it's too big a miss.
I think Lukaku's a big miss, but I think Everton will be, as a result of not having him, will probably play 5 across the midfield and try and hold out. So that's why I've gone for 1-1. The next game to discuss is our Champions League friends Arsenal and their home fixture against Sunderland. Arsenal have got no Kieran Gibbs, obviously, who we saw get stretchered off. Not stretchered, had to leave the pitch on Wednesday night. But Giroud, as we said, should be back. So Olivier Giroud will be back.
Big plus.
Because we've already debated the question, will Ozil be dropped? I think we came to the conclusion, no, he probably won't. Should he? Yeah, again, that's a good question. Sunderland, of course, got their eyes on the League Cup final night next week, so I don't know if that will affect their selection in any way. I mean, will Gus Poyet even comprehend resting a couple of players?
I mean, you've got to think they're still in a relegation
Absolutely.
battle, but at the same time, Arsenal away is one of the hardest games they're going to have, really. So they might think, even if we play our strongest team, we wouldn't get anything from it. So is it worth resting a few for a potential cup win?
Absolutely. I mean, that's a question.
We'll start off with a listener prediction. Alec Bates predicts a 7-0 win for Arsenal.
7-0.
Alec. That's our good friend Alec over in Madrid. Am I surprised with that prediction? No. All I say about Alex, sir, is that I saw that video on Facebook. Fantastic. I'm delighted that's been put up.
Absolutely
that's a little
brilliant.
private joke here in the studio.
Memories.
#Botner.
So what have you got for Arsenal Sunderland then?
So Arsenal Sunderland, I went with 2-0 Arsenal. I think Arsenal will have too much, but I don't think Sunderland will. I think Sunderland, since Poyet have come in, they've looked a hard, determined unit. I don't think they'll go there and crumble by any means. Arsenal will be a little bit flat probably at the start after what happened on Wednesday. Yeah, I still expect them to get the 3 points. So I've gone Arsenal 2, Sunderland 0. Michael?
I've gone for Arsenal win, but I've gone for a slightly tighter win. I've gone for a 2-1.
Oh.
Because I think Arsenal, at this time of the season, the form's not exactly with them at the moment. They seem to be struggling a bit, but I still think they'll just have enough to beat a relegation battler at home. But I think Sunderland will put up a good fight.
Oh, fantastic. Paul?
I've gone for an Arsenal 1-0.
Oh, he's dead.
Boring Arsenal. They're going to scrap a goal. We've seen them a few times this season come back from some disappointing results. And I think they were hard done by in the week. They were. But I'm thinking 1-0, Sonogo.
Sonogo.
So Giroud's not going to come back.
No, Sonogo.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next game I've got on here is Cardiff City versus Hull City. I have gone, I'll tell you what, I mean, Cardiff at the moment can't buy a win from anywhere. I mean, if wins were on offer for £1.99 in Lidl, they still wouldn't have the finances.
Does this not sound like the most boring Premier League fixture?
Yes.
Of the weekend, possibly.
It's probably up there with Swindon Town versus Oldham Athletic in terms of...
A bit harsh, I think.
I offend anyone. I'm sorry, I didn't offend any Swindon Town fans out there. The masses of you from flipping Wiltshire
all of you Swindon Town fans listening.
And yeah, to you in Oldham, I'm just sorry. Cardiff Hull. I've gone for a 0-0. I think Cardiff, I mean, they will be absolutely desperate in South Wales to get the 3 points. But I think Hull and Bruce has shown himself this season a good manager with solid teams. He can put them together. He knows how to defensively organise his units. I mean, Hull have surprised me. They've been, in terms of Premiership sides this season,
been solid, haven't they?
They've been very solid. I don't know if they're still quite experimenting with the 3-5-2 they were playing earlier in the season, but that was nice to see in the Premier League as well. And I can see that one being a really tough one for Cardiff because Hull will come there, and even though it will be a game that Cardiff fans will be looking on the fixture list and going, we have to win this game.
We've got to get 3 points from that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to be.
Definite 6 pointer.
You know, if they don't win that one, things are looking very grim there. But I have gone with a 0-0. I think Hull will probably be okay with taking a point there, so
Absolutely.
they won't risk too much. And Cardiff, I don't see them having the firepower to get through. Michael?
I've gone for a draw, but I've gone for a score draw. I've gone for 1-1. I think Hull, with Steve Bruce, they've bought well. You know, they've got a very solid defence this season. So away from home, they've been pretty good. I think Hull will probably take the lead, but I back Solskjaer, the ultimate substitute manager.
It's just because he's a United fan, you see, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Timmins,
he knows
closet United fan.
He knows a thing or two about substitution, so I back Cardiff to nick an equaliser, but I can't see them winning it, personally.
Oh, fantastic. Cool.
1-1 again.
1-1 again.
It's going to be one of those games. There's going to be 2 chances and no 2 goals.
Fantastic. So, right, basically, we're going to take a wee break now. We're going to put another song on. Trash by Suede, another 90s classic. One of my favourite songs of all time, personally. I'd like more people to send in your funny tashes. I'd love to hear that. And another one I want to get started for the second half of the show, leading the second half of the show, footballers and alcoholic beverages. So, I for example, Joey Barton, he's got to be a Jaeger bomb with a can of Boost. Not even Red Bull, a can of Boost. Filthy. So then I thought, that's what I thought for Joe. And then I've gone for Lionel Messi, for example, a glass of finest Moet champagne.
Classy, cultured.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So, classy, cultured, a nice flavoursome drinks. No innuendo there.
No, of course.
So, yeah, anyway, now it's going to be Trash by Suede, classic 90s song. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome back to the show. Michael, you've got some shout-outs you'd like to give?
Shout-outs I've got to give. First of all, to Harry Klein and Tommy Freeman, who are eating Big Georges and listening in Southampton. Said, can we get a shout-out, hoping for some curling chat, #LoveCurling. Well, unfortunately, not this week, but next week we will be doing a winter sports section, so...
I don't know, I quite like Eve Muirhead. I do. I'd like to talk about her.
Well,
she's a fine curler.
Well, fair enough.
She's got fantastic broom handling. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Great sweeping technique.
What, sweep her broom? No.
Wow.
Oh, dear, that's outrageous.
And a few more shout-outs to give to the boys at 82 Kingsway. Jack, James, Johnny and Henry. And also to Jamie Burke, if you're listening. So keep the shout-outs coming in.
Yeah, I've got a couple as well. I've been told from Axel Beganar, one of my old friends, has requested a shout-out. And I've been told Phil has requested a shout-out, which I believe must be Phil Mann. So I hope you two are doing well. Will Collins has also requested a shout-out. William, I see you think Arsenal are going to win 7-3 at the weekend. If Arsenal win 7-3, I'll get naked, run around Old Trafford singing "We Are the Champions" on Christmas Eve. That's a promise. So
that's guaranteed now. So
it's guaranteed to happen.
You watch it happen now.
Elliot Frost also loving the show.
Thank you very much. Good to hear. So Lord, please Lord the praise. It started off a little bit. It was a little bit edgy at the start. We were having to get into grips with everything on the first show. But yeah, it seems to be going okay at the moment. So now we're going to keep on with the predictions. So we ended up on Cardiff Hull, and now we're going to move on to Manchester City v Stoke. So as I said, City, very good performance. Unlucky at the weekend. Unlucky midweek. I personally think City will absolutely destroy Stoke 4-0. I don't think there'll be any hangover. No discussion there. No hangover. I see City rolling through there. Would you agree, Paul?
4-1 I've had.
4-1.
Yeah. Does Stephen Ireland still play at Stoke?
Well, all I know about Stephen Ireland is that he's
because I fancy him to get a goal against his former club.
An interesting fact about Stephen Ireland. He has all time. I think he has a multi-million-pound sort of system to monitor the PhD levels of his fish tank.
The PhD levels.
PhD levels.
Yeah.
What, how intelligent they are.
PhD levels.
Doctorate.
PH levels. Sorry. Jeez, as you can tell, I'm not much except for a sports enthusiast, really. Might be able to play the odd song. So what's the pH levels in his fish tank? That is so odd. I just thought
money well spent. Yeah.
Money well spent.
If you've got the money,
fish.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean,
I've with City Stoke, I've gone again for a very one-sided. I've gone for a 5-0 to City. Yeah. I think they're going to respond very well to the midweek loss.
Aren't Stoke as well the worst side in the Premiership away from home?
I believe they might be.
I have a feeling they have the worst
City
away record.
Have the best home record, so there's only one way I can see it going. Really,
yeah.
We've got a few.
Goes,
We've got a few predictions. Axel and Jack both say 2-0. Jack guarantees it.
Oh, Jack guarantees it.
Ryan Braun. So, this is so Braun. 4-1 to Stoke.
4-1. Ryan,
never the optimist.
You stick to your Formula 1, Ryan. Any other predictions online?
I think that's it. But we want to hear more. We want to hear more.
All the
We're
time.
interested in the studio.
Absolutely. We're going to move on now to West Bromwich Albion Fulham. West Brom, more Premier League dreams and draws than the Premier League dreams. Well, they will be Premier League dreams at the moment. We'll see about that. More Premier League draws than any other club this season. I think they've got less wins than any other team in the Premier League. I think they've got just four wins in the Premier League all season. Pepe Mel hasn't won a game yet. playing against Fulham, and we all know about Fulham.
If Sheffield United can beat them, anyone can.
Well, that's poor our resident Sheffield United fan.
Oh, yes.
Man United can't, unfortunately.
Well, that just says a lot
Sheffield
about
United, technically better than Man United.
If you view
Are
it
they?
that way.
Yes.
Are they the best United?
The only United.
Well, Michael might disagree with that. I still haven't told you folks who I support, by the way, which is obvious from 99% of you, but it's Ipswich
Norwich.
Town, the best team in East Anglia.
Norwich.
I'm just putting it out there.
Up the Canaries.
Up the Canary. We have actually got a fantastic section planned later, for later on the show, on the madness of Fulham's new
Felix
manager.
Magath.
Yeah, Michael has been looking into that for us. However, for now, we're just going to concentrate on the predictions. So I can only see a draw here. Just going to form.
Yeah.
I've gone West Brom 1, Fulham 1. I think it will be a tight game, a terrible game to watch. I would not pay money to see that match. And I think it'll be a 1-1. I generally think so. Michael?
I've gone for a 2-1 to West Brom. I think Pepe Mel's going to get his first win as manager. I think Fulham, with Felix Magath in charge, he's going to take a bit of time to get to grips with managing them. And from what I've heard about him, his training methods are quite unique.
Yeah,
Rigorous.
I think his players are going to be absolutely knackered before the game even starts, from what I've heard. So I can see West Brom winning.
Very good. Cool.
0-0. I just can't
0-0.
see a goal scorer. Yeah, exactly.
I could see it being that. Yeah, although I have to tell you, if anyone's interested, I hear Lineker's away this week. It's Dan Walker presenting.
Oh.
Everyone just gives the same reaction. I used to like Colin Murray, but they didn't like him.
Didn't they got rid of him because he was disagreeing too much with the pundits, apparently?
Well, they put him now to do BDO darts, the poor sod.
Oh, bless him.
God bless his soul. Next game we're looking at is the mighty Hammers against Southampton. West Ham at home to Saints. I've just gone for another 1-1 draw here. I think it's bog standard Premier League fixture. Southampton, a strange thing in the FA Cup. I really found that really quite bizarre. Pochettino deciding to rest for his top players.
Yeah.
When I actually genuinely thought before that game, Southampton get through, get a good draw. They're the sort of side that could use the FA Cup as a springboard.
They're not in danger, are they, in the league?
Absolutely no danger. They're almost
Not at all.
marooned in mid-table.
They're
So
literally like, they're not going to go that much higher, not going to go much lower.
No.
They might as well have gone for a cup run.
So I do feel sorry for Southampton fans, especially with all the promise at the start of the season. But events on the South Coast have all gone a bit strange, haven't they?
They have.
They've all gone a bit strange since the whole since Cortese left his role and the ownership issues with Kathleen Liebherr, I believe her name is. Who was the son of the original owner of Southampton, who died a few years ago. Oh, daughter, I should say. Kathleen will not be happy with me saying that. She was the daughter of the original owner of Southampton, Marcus Liebherr, who died a couple of years ago, and she hasn't really been involved in the football club since. But now she's decided to take more of an active role. She removed Cortese from his position as sporting director, which everyone has seen as quite the oddity.
It was, seeing as he was arguably doing quite a good job, seeing as look how Southampton been progressing on the field at least.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been that was a really strange thing. The only thing I can see it's about selling the club on.
I think she has no real interest in football, so for her she just wants to move the club on, take the money from it, and
just
be
move
done
on.
with it.
Yeah, no, of course. Pochettino, will he be there? Will he won't? Well, we'll wait and see what happens there. But I've just gone for 1-1 in this game. West Ham 1, Southampton 1.
I've gone for a 1-2 to Southampton.
Oh, Saints gonna pick.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to bounce back from that disappointing FA Cup game. They're going to win this
They can't
one.
do any worse than that.
No, absolutely.
Zach Maynard listening in predicts
Hello, Zach.
a big win.
What, for the Hammers?
For the Hammers.
He's a big Hammers
How
fan,
big?
is Zach.
It says a big, just big.
Big. Well, Zach, then I'm gonna agree. No, I can't. I'm sorry, Zach.
I can't agree with that. I'm a Blades fan.
I've gone 1-0, mate. I've gone 1-0. Sorry about that.
I've gone for a 2-1 win to Saints as well. I think this is the ultimate clash of styles. This is Big Sam's knock it long.
Well, mind you, Southampton have Lambert up front.
But I would argue that Southampton are a slightly more cultured playing side than West Ham under Big Sam. But I think they'll bounce back after that FA Cup defeat. And with the players they've got, I can see them nicking a 2-1 there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really good. And then the last one of Saturday's games, I've had a prediction in from Mr. William Beanham, listening overseas. Hello, Billy. He predicts, I quote, Palace to beat Man United 3-0. Well, again, if that happens, I will be quite amazed. But
you won't see me next week if that happens.
Yeah, Michael's leaving. If that happens, Michael's leaving. Personally, I've gone for Palace 2, United 3. I think this is a game where we're going to see some excitement this weekend. Palace, things are picking up. Yeah, usually quite tight defensively. United, well, Michael, you can tell me more about United.
I'd need more than the allotted time, I'll be honest.
What is going on?
What is going on? But with regards to this, I think surely, away from home, Old Trafford's been the biggest problem, interestingly, this season. I think Palace don't seem to score many goals. So as long as we can score 2, I think we'll win 2-1. I can't see Palace scoring more than 1.
I'm just getting this feeling that Shamak's going to turn up and fire all guns blazing. And as Billy reckons, Delaney as well.
Delaney
hat-trick.
You can always count on the Tony Pulis side to get a goal. They're going to put up a fight.
Although I would say that against United, Tony Pulis only ever got 1 point in the Premier League.
Not drawing.
But it's Ferguson, wasn't it? You know, not come
That's
on,
true.
Not come on the field of Moyes.
It's not Davy Moyes.
They're hardly playing like Fergie's boys at the moment. Let's put it that way. So we're all agreed though. So you went for 2-1 United.
Yeah.
I've gone for 3-2 United. Paul.
I've gone 3-1 United.
So we've all agreed that there's going to be goals in that game, and I'm going to predict that. I'm actually making a prediction that's going to be first match of the day. First, yeah, that's my prediction. Chelsea Everton 12:45 on BT Vision. It'll be a 1-1. This will be first match of the day. Right, so before the hour, we're going to review Sunday's games, the 3 games that are on Sunday, and then we're going to read you our sports raps, which will be fantastic.
Yes.
This song goes out to everyone who knows me. This is Oasis. This is Roll With It. This is the King and Tib Show on Source Radio Coventry.
Student radio for Coventry.
The best new music and the best old school.
This is Coventry University's student radio station.
This is Source Radio.
You were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now.
Your university, your station. Source Radio.
Welcome back to Source Radio. Right, so we're going to go on with the last 3 games for the weekend, and then try and do the sports wraps before the hour. If not, we'll do them after the hour. So, getting back to the games on Sunday, we start off with Liverpool versus Swansea. Have we had any fan predictions for this game? I believe we were given the Liverpool fans any fan predictions at all. Let's have a look. We're having a wee look here.
I don't believe we have had any.
We've had no Liverpool fans. Come on, Liverpool
fans.
No Liverpool fans. What's this about? Anyway,
They're not normally this quiet, are they?
Oh dear, is it? Paul there making making a scouser. Well, actually, I've just got to point out Alec Bates. That picture you've just put on the Facebook group is.
I don't think that's a sportsman.
No, it's highly contentious, and yeah, I'm not going to say who it is. You can look at it if you go on. I mean,
if we approve it.
Actually, we've got the ability to approve it or not. Well, I'll leave.
What kind of show are we?
What kind of show are we? We've got to ask ourselves those questions.
I've approved it.
He's approved it. Well, there you go. You can see it now. Anyway, so please, Liverpool fans, get in touch.
But the woodwork.
I've gone on to say that I reckon Liverpool win 3-1 this weekend against Swansea. I think it will be quite an easy game for Liverpool. I think Swansea under Monk. I mean, Benitez said last night he reckons Monk's got a massive future in the game. I don't disagree. I think Gary Monk looks like he might end up being a really top-class manager. He seems to have a certain way with the press, from what I've seen about him.
I mean, he'll be inspired if after sacking Laudrup, Monk turns out to be a really good manager.
I think he might well be, because I just like the way he deals with the press. I've seen him numerous times. He seems to have a really good rapport with the players. In terms of Swansea, he's perfect because he knows everything about the club. Swansea is a very sort of different club to most clubs in the English game.
Because they're Welsh.
Well, that as well, of course, they're Welsh. But I should say the English and Welsh game to be PC, sorry. In the English and Welsh game, it is all built on... It's, you know, they might call themselves the South Barcelona and South Wales, you know. They have their certain styles about them. There's a whole game develops on the passing game, you know. So... yeah, I think he'll be a good manager. I think he'll work out well there. But I think Sunday's going to be hard for them. I think Liverpool should record a win. I think they played well against Arsenal last weekend. Very unlucky. I think Liverpool to win 3-1, and Suarez to score at least 2 of them.
You'd assume so, wouldn't you?
You'd assume so.
I've got Liverpool to win 2-0. You know,
2-0.
Pretty standard. They won't have to get out of second gear, I don't think. I
can see that happening. It's not going to be.
They've been against mid-table teams. They've been absolutely fine at home, Liverpool, so I can see nothing else than a simple 2-0 win.
Very good.
I've gone for a 4-0 Liverpool. I hate to actually say that. I feel like I should wash my mouth out right now. Suarez to get 3.
Suarez to get a hat-trick. Well, I tell you what, that is probably not the most ridiculous outcome on that game.
Sean Mosby, listening in, says Liverpool will probably win.
Does he think so?
Yeah. Gab Poyser, shout out.
Hello, Gabriel.
3-1. 3-1 Liverpool.
Gab thinks 3-1 Liverpool. I'd like to know what Gab thinks, how Watford are going to get on this weekend. Please let me know, Gabriel. He's a big Watford fan. I'm an Ipswich fan, and we both would like to class ourselves in the playoff hunt, so to speak. But every Ipswich fan you'll ever meet will tell them we're in the playoff hunt any time of the season, even if we're 21st in the league. So, take my words.
Gotta believe.
My words are not gospel. Next game to come and talk about is Newcastle vs Aston Villa. I think Newcastle are going for a really tricky patch right now. The sell of Cabaye has just been a real problem for Newcastle. It's rocked the club. Shocking. I mean, it says a lot about the football club, and it says a lot about the way Ashley is running the club. Because Ashley clearly sees it purely as a business. He's using it as a money-making machine. He brings in cheap players from France in particular, and he has no ambitions of the success he's built. They have built success in the last couple of seasons. He has had no ambitions of taking it any further. That's what's so disappointing. Now, don't get me wrong, Mike Ashley is a fantastic businessman, but that's what he is. He's a businessman.
What you want as a fan.
No, and you know what? Newcastle fans are probably the most passionate, if not the second. I'd say Liverpool fans are extremely passionate, but also Newcastle fans. I mean, I would say they could well be the most passionate fans in the country. As a country, everyone will have to give in their shout-outs. I'll tell you, Ipswich are not the most passionate fans in the country.
Neither are Bournemouth.
No. You should try going to Ipswich Bolton on a cold January afternoon. Jeez Louise. That is something.
If Cabaye wanted to go in the summer, so would they have not been better selling him in the summer and getting in a replacement rather than relying on him for half a season and then selling him in January and not getting a replacement?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, that is the question, Paul.
I just can't see. I almost said Liverpool, Newcastle. They've absolutely shot it. Is Rami back from suspension now? Who's suspended? Was he?
Good question.
Since he's been out of the team, they've got no one scoring goals.
So that's why I went for a Villa 2-0. I've gone
for a 2-1 Villa
because I think Villa are the perfect counter-attack team. I mean, they really have absolute pure pace, don't they? They are.
Matt Loughton down the right. You can't beat him.
Agbonlahor. I do love a Gabby Agbonlahor. I would just put him on the World Cup just for his pace. Seriously, I'd just put him there and just be like, 5 minutes of the game left, 1-0 down, just hoof it upfield and get Agbonlahor running after it because he has got the most ridiculous pace. So,
although you could argue there's players doing that better, like Oxlade-Chamberlain. So,
yeah, there you go. I mean, I'm not personally advocating Agbonlahor should go to the World Cup. Seriously,
no, not at all.
He is a particularly average footballer. And then the last game of the weekend, and I promise to any Norwich fans listening out there that I'm not going to be biased. But I probably will be a little bit. It's Norwich versus Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Norwich City. Sorry. Terrible. That's all I can say as an Ipswich fan. So, Michael, I'd like you to start the chat on this one.
Norwich. Well, to be honest, I think the way Spurs are playing at the moment, obviously they struggled in the Europa League midweek, but I think they rested a few players there, and we'll see Adebayor back for this game. And the kind of form he's in, sometimes on his day he can be unplayable. So I think Spurs will probably win this one, and it'll be 2 or 3-0.
Paul?
I had Spurs to get a cheeky 1-0. But
1-0?
1-0. I've gone for it.
You know what? Even though I'm trying not to be biased, I've put Norwich 1, Tottenham 1.
Spurs had a shocking result last night.
I mean, there are factors that we have to take into account last night. They did change a lot of players, and the pitch was an absolute disgrace out in Dnipro. I'm not going to lie, but I do think Tottenham are the sort of side that they're good old, just typical old Spurs, and they're never going to turn up, and they don't have that flair anymore. You don't see Tottenham, and they're not an exciting team to watch that they once were. I know.
Not really since Harry Redknapp.
No, and I just think away from home at Norwich, let's get it straight. They desperately need points. Their last 4 games of the season are horrendous. So it's effectively their season finishes a few weeks before everyone else's does. Because I'm not suggesting they'll get any points out of those last 4 games. If you look them up online, I think they're Man U, Man City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Or might be Liverpool involved in there. But anyway, it is basically 4 of the top 6 clubs they've got to play in the last 4 games of the season.
We've got some listener predictions in.
Have we?
From James, he says 5-1 to the Spurs. Bentaleb hat-trick.
No, go on, you Spurs. I'd get behind that.
I bet there's cracking money on that.
Opinion there, James.
Oh, is he a Spurs?
That's my housemate James.
Oh, I've met James.
You have met James.
Hello, James.
Phil Mann comes in with a 5-2 to Norwich.
Phil, be quiet. Be quiet, Phil.
Looking at the fixtures, I see what you mean about their last 4 games.
Yeah.
They have Liverpool at home, Man United away, Chelsea away, and Arsenal at home.
Well, Man United's an easy one, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's the gimme 3 points against the others.
Snap your hand off.
Snap your hand off. So yeah, no, well, I've gone for 1-1 there. I think it's going to be a tight game. I can see Norwich. For some reason, I see them getting the first goal in this game, and Spurs getting an equaliser. I think Norwich will come out the traps quick. They'll be really gunning for it. But no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't see Norwich doing
I think if Adebayor plays well, Spurs will win.
Well, I hope so. I hope you're right, Paul.
I think it's sad that you've got to call upon Adebayor to play well.
That's what happens when you buy a £26 million striker who can't score other than penalties. I mean,
this is true. This is very, very true, isn't it? Well, I mean, a £26 million striker. This is another big reason why Villas-Boas was sacked. Because Andre Villas-Boas was adamant on signing Soldado, where Daniel Levy and the Tottenham board were much keener on signing Christian Benteke from Aston Villa.
He's not been doing it either,
well,
has he?
He hasn't been doing it this season, true, but he's had a few problems with injuries. But, I mean, let's be honest, I imagine from open play, certainly Benteke's probably got more goals than Soldado in the league this season. And Benteke was injured for quite a decent amount of time in the first half of the season.
Has Soldado even scored from open play?
Well, he seemed to score a penalty every week in the first 5 weeks of the season, but I'm not sure. He can take a penalty. He can take a penalty, can't he?
He's clinical from the spot.
Was planning to play you Wonderwall in a minute. I might have accidentally played you
on auto, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not going to lie, we're going to have a few gremlins this week. Hopefully by week 3 we should be absolutely fantastic. I wanted to play you Wonderwall. Now, unfortunately, again, I won't be able to play Wonderwall. Hey, but if only we have only these problems on the music. Hopefully that's all we stick with.
We've got requests for no more Oasis now.
No more Oasis?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Who's that from? I bet it's from someone...
From the mass majority, actually.
From the mass majority, no, that's fair enough. I'm happy to take shout-outs. If anyone would like to play me, do a shout-out. Now, because of that, I was going to play that song. Unfortunately, that's throwing me a bit. I'm going to play you some... I'm going to play you a different... Here we go. This is a song. There we go. I had to choose this one now. Sorry about that. This is a great song. I think you'll really enjoy this. And I hope you will, because this is one of my favourite songs too. I'm going to play you Pulp and Disco 2000.
Hello, I'm Scott Mills from Radio 1. You're tuned into Source Radio.
Source Radio.
Welcome back to the show. A little bit of a nice cup of tea there.
Yeah, very nice.
Maybe a bit stronger. Right, so as we said before, we were going to try and bring you the raps before the hour, but no better time than to do them now. So this week, as you who have been following me, on the Facebook group may have noticed, and as I said earlier, we've been setting each other a challenge every week, me and Michael, to produce the best sports-related rap on a given topic. So this week, I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to win. I think mine was fantastic. No, generally it's terrible. We have both got raps, and I've got the best one of you guys who gave me a rap. I'm going to read theirs out too, and that is Jamie Pattle, listening in Karlstad, Sweden. Hopefully, well, he certainly gave me this rap, and it's very good. So I hope you're listening. Right,
a wordsmith, Jamie Pattle.
A wordsmith, yes. Jamie Pattle, English student. They're all the same. Right. So here we go. I'm going to lay you down my beat. P, give me a beat. Boom.
Give me a beat?
Yeah, chuck us down a beat. I'm going to rap to it.
Boom.
Varinka is the name of the man. His friends just call him Stan. Okay, he may have won a Grand Slam, but can he repeat it? Yes, he can. Andy's one dour bloke. He's flatter than Diet Coke. A champion for kilted folk. In other sports, the Scots are jokes. Feed the boom, extra, boom,
Mid-break.
Feds, Bill Wood of tennis, or maybe Jessica Ennis. He's old now, this is true, but he would still destroy you. This is shocking, that much is true. Mr. Tibbins, it's over to you.
And now I'm going to go a cappella. So we're going to cut the music. Mine's not going to be quite as impressive as yours.
That was terrible.
Trust me, it gets worse.
Hey, we'll get better.
Mine's only a couple of verses, but let's see how it goes. Right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Balkanborn, Djokovic, best player since Ivanisevic. He's beaten Federer, so must be betterer. Winning Wimbledon is a sure sitch. But here comes Murray, he's the least bit funny, and some people think he's dull. He's rather mundane, that boy from Dunblane, but he's going to win it all.
Woo! Very good, very good. I'll tell you what, Paul, you're the neutral here. Who won?
Oh, well, I've got a bit of an impartial decision because I did love the beat on the first one.
Oh, well, good. That is true.
Although I did love some of the rhymes that Tib came up with.
Should we put the vote to the viewers?
I think it's got to be. It's got to be.
We'll leave this up to listeners. Please, listeners, tell us who you think won. Now, also, I'd like to read James out. We'll try and get you all involved every week. So you'll be able to do this every week. Next week's topic is winter sports, isn't it?
Winter sports, yeah.
Winter sports, as it's the end of the Winter Olympics. So in the next week, if any of you think of any good winter sport related raps or just a cheeky little poem or something that you would like to send in, please do, and we shall read it out if it's any good. I won't promise I'll read it out, but I'll try. So this is Jamie Battles. Paul, you ready? Lay us down a beat.
Shall I go with the same beat?
I like it.
I don't know. I feel I'm gonna mix it up.
Oh, you're gonna mix it up. Well, mix it up, please. Right. Mix it up.
Bum 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 bum.
Have you got a Hawkeye? Or are you on the line? This Wimbledon match has been going on for bare time. Mahoo, and that John Isner. No better players in the world, is there? Federer, Nadal, Murray and the Jock. Golden era going.
Very nice.
Well,
beautiful,
Jamie,
beautiful.
That goes out to you.
Absolutely fantastic.
So I really hope you enjoyed them. They were just a little bit of fun, and as I said, next week's is winter sports. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is this week, we as you've seen what's been going on at Fulham, it's been absolutely bizarre, frankly. Rennie Moulenstein, Alan Curbishley and Ray Wilkins all sacked this week from their jobs in the Fulham as members of Fulham.
Disgraceful, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's a very, very, very strange
How
one.
can you sack someone just as looks like they're starting to turn it around a bit? They drew at Old Trafford and narrowly lost to Liverpool at home, and then you get rid of them.
Well, he's Shahid Khan's the new owner in the Premier League. I just believe he's panicking, doesn't know a thing about the game.
Well, when you lose to a lowly League One side like Sheffield United, questions have got to be asked.
No, this is true.
But you can't. Well, you credit Sheffield United. We are the best team in the world. We're in false position.
You are the best team in the world.
Yeah.
False position.
So anyway, we've I heard some interesting things about Felix Magath, so I thought I'd look into it. And there are a couple of funny stories about him, actually. We've got one here from his time as manager at Wolfsburg. It says, while in charge of Wolfsburg during a training camp in July 2008 in Switzerland, Magath declared after a team lunch that training would be cancelled for the day. Instead, the players would be rewarded with coffee and cake at a nearby location with the provision that the players retain their training attire just in case. As the players prepared to board the gondola that took them up the mountain to the coffee house, their delight was soon replaced with horror, as Magath told them they would get there by running the full 2,362 metres up the mountain.
Oh my days.
They ran for 2.5 hours straight, with Magath running right behind the team. Their star striker Graffiti collapsed before the end and had to be carried down the valley on the stretcher, while other players broke down in tears as they reached the summit, where they were finally able to enjoy their coffee and cake.
Are you kidding me?
A genuine story from his time at Wolfsburg.
Well, he did win 2 Bundesliga. He managed to win the Bundesliga with Wolfsburg.
I've heard about being keen on fitness.
Well, I mean, there's keen on fitness, and clearly there's keen on fitness, and Felix is obviously extremely keen on fitness.
I've got a few more things about him. Apparently, as a manager, Magath quickly gained respect and became notorious for his hard, grinding training methods, laying heavy emphasis on discipline, fitness and conditioning. Players gave him nicknames like Saddam, for Saddam Hussein, or Qualix, a rhyming mash of his first name Felix and the German verb qualen, to torture. He was once described by former Frankfurt player Bakiru Salu as the last dictator of Europe.
Wow, that's quite a test.
That's a scary manager.
That is a scary manager. I don't think I'd want to play for him. I'll put it that way.
And a final fact, it seems like he likes to buy and sell a lot of players. during the 2010-11 season, he signed 14 new players and sold and loaned out a total of 16.
Really? So he does really have a massive turnaround then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know. Obviously, I know McGatt's got this reputation. I didn't know a lot about it. It's quite interesting to hear some of the stuff he's been up to. I did hear a story as well, personally, that the player remains anonymous, but I heard it on BBC Radio 5 Live that this player was invited into the McGatt's office while at Wolfsburg. The player subsequently sat down, was offered a chair and sat down, expecting McGatt to open the conversation. Felix Magath said nothing. He stares at him for 20 minutes. Nothing was said in this room for 20 minutes. And he just says, fine, you can go. That's a genuine story that I heard on BBC Radio 5 Live.
What is he trying to achieve there?
Well, he's certainly got some unique methods, hasn't he? We'll put it that way. Paul, have we had any more feedback on the social media?
I don't think we have, unfortunately. I think everyone needs to talk.
I've got some stuff to keep us going. After looking at Felix Magath and what a nutcase he sounds like, I looked up some of the most disastrous managerial reigns in English football. Now, I'll pick out just a few of them. First of all, Andre Villas-Boas at Chelsea.
Well, that was tragic, wasn't
Remember how badly that went for him?
It just didn't work very well.
So, by the club's impossibly high standards, the start of his reign was stuttering, and defeats to United, QPR, Arsenal and Liverpool left Chelsea well off the title pace. But what makes this really tragic is, as his Chelsea spell began to go wrong, Villas-Boas even started to sleep at the training ground.
Oh, no, really?
It says the pressure of the job gradually consumed Villas-Boas, who would spend interminable hours at the club's Cobham training ground, poring over printouts of technical data in a desperate attempt to work out where he was going wrong.
That's tragic. You think the thing with Villas-Boas is the problem, isn't it? I always thought with Andre Villas-Boas, when you're managing players with big egos, one thing that you can have over them is experience. They're not going to respect you if you're 33, surely not. Not at the very top level, and these players, some of them are older. I mean, John Terry, about the same age, and he sees Andre Villas-Boas, who I don't think has ever played a professional game of football in his life, and he looks at him and he thinks, what's he know more about football than me? It doesn't work at the very top. It worked for Eddie Howe at your club.
Oh, definitely.
It can work, and it works well in the lower leagues.
For the club.
And it does help. Well, Gary Monk, of course, at Swansea, he obviously played for the club too. Yeah.
Tim Sherwood
at Spurs. It might work out. I still think, he's had a good start.
Jury's still out.
I think the jury's still out there, and I keep hearing rumours that that Mr. Louis van Gaal is going to take the Tottenham job at the end of the season. This is consistently going around the internet. I mean, who knows if it will happen? I don't know if it will. If Sherwood gets them fifth, I mean, by some fluke, if he managed to get them fourth, then obviously he's got
a job, hasn't he, in the short term anyway? He's got
a job for the short term, but there's still rumours flying around. Tottenham aren't afraid to sack managers.
The most tragic bit for Villas-Boas as well is that after the fallout of several players, there was a meeting in front of Abramovich in which players ripped into his methods and tactics in front of the owner.
Ooh.
So that's when you know you've lost your dressing room.
Yeah, I mean, that does sound like someone who's lost the dressing room.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple more interesting ones. There's in '97 at Tottenham, Christian Gross took over.
Oh yes, the only Swiss manager in the Premier League era.
He was unknown at the time. He'd won a couple of titles with Grasshopper Zurich in Switzerland, and when he arrived at Tottenham on his first day, he waved a London Underground travel card and shouted, "I want this to become my ticket to the dreams."
Oh dear! Well, that's just cringy, isn't it? Really, that is absolutely cringy. You got any more there?
Yeah. This one, I couldn't believe this one. Graham Wesley at Preston.
Oh, he did have a shocker, didn't he? If I remember correctly, didn't he take out basically all the players? Wasn't it something like 21 players?
Yeah.
Cut from the squad.
I'll tell you, it emerged that 4 members of Preston's playing squad, after the day before a game, he texted the players at 2 a.m. to give them the team lineup. And then it leaked the next day that several of the opposition team had found out about the tactics through his own players.
Oh my God.
And after this kind of mutiny, in the summer, he cut 21 players from the squad as an act of retribution.
It doesn't work. You can't change everything. It's got to be implemented change. It's got to be slow. It's got to be a procedure rather than, a quick axe. I don't think that's the way to go in football management. I would like to listen to some more of these. I'm going to play another 90s classic here. Okay.
Just before that, Josh, got a listener in, Thomas Stewart, my very own cousin, family.
Fantastic.
Has a disapproving statement about Spurs, which I will not repeat on the radio.
Oh, so he's not a Spurs fan, I'll tell you.
No, clearly an Arsenal fan.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, no, I know Smitherman's got a sideshow Paul.
Gab Poyser also mentions Scolari. In this
I
debate.
think that's a great. Absolutely, give me your worst managerial. I'll have to throw in Roy Keane at Ipswich too. What a horrendous few years. The only excitement we had in that time was watching his interviews, because he literally just scared the flipping living daylights out of half the people that interviewed him at the time. That was the most. In fact, Ipswich have got some really good contenders. Paul Jewell is. I'm not surprised he's not in employment anymore.
I don't think some of them match up with some of the other ones I've still got on here.
Well, you've still got Steve Keane to see.
Steve Keane, of course.
And let's have a look. You've got Joe Kinnear.
Joe Kinnear at Newcastle, who famously referred to Charles Nzogbia as Charles Insomnia.
That's terrible.
That's not going to win you many points in the dressing room.
No, it's not. Absolutely.
And it's no surprise that Nzogbia requested the transfer soon after.
Yeah, I mean, if you are being called Insomnia, then, you know.
And
Graham Taylor.
Who could forget Graham Taylor?
The turnip himself.
Absolute nightmare.
Absolute turnip. Right, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to play another song, and then we're going to go through some more of these. Okay. And then we've got some nice other bits as we head towards the final half an hour of the show. As I'm going to play now, it is Buck Rogers' Feeder. Welcome back to the King and Tib Show. We are now in the final half hour of tonight's show.
Flown by.
It has flown by. You know what? I've had a blooming good time tonight. It's been fantastic.
We've had some more suggestions about terrible managerial reigns. Ben Stratton suggested Mickey Adams at Sheffield United.
I would vouch for that. The only reason he got that job is because he's a blade himself, and he took us down to League One, and it's been pretty dire until about 2 weeks ago.
You know, you get those managers, and you look at them, and you wonder why they are employed and how they can continue to get so well employed.
Ian Dowie.
Well, Ian Dowie's. Yeah. My question is, how on earth has Mickey Adams retained football management status over such a number of years? Because he has always been one of those managers like Mr. Dave Bassett, who I look at and think, how on earth they've had a job? Like, they are the sort of people, they're not even necessarily, you don't know all their work, you just look at this manager and you think, how is he in the job? There must be something. Yeah, there must be something. But I just can't see it, and I'm just trying to see what it is.
It's like Mark Hughes. I don't understand why teams keep hiring him and giving him money to spend.
Well, he did well with the Welsh national side.
But that's because he didn't have money to spend.
Well, I mean, maybe that's his thing. Maybe. Blackburn as well, to be fair.
I've seen some interesting managers in my time as a Sheffield United fan. But definitely the worst was Brian Robson.
Brian Robson. Oh, dear.
Absolutely shocking.
Again, he's another one. He's another one I have in my category. I was just talking about how on earth they ever get football management. It just defies me.
Well, anyway, we've got some the most tragic managerial reigns in English football. We've got a couple left.
Oh, we've still got a couple more. Fantastic.
Let's go.
We've got Brian Clough at Leeds United.
Oh dear.
July 1974 to September 1974.
Big up Nigel.
Damned United, of course.
We love Nigel.
44-day tenure at the club. He came in, addressed the team, told them to throw their medals away because they'd won them by cheating. That's not...
It's the way to get your players on side. Tell them that everything they've won has been on sort of invalid sort of morals. I don't know. That doesn't really...
That's a character, but you can't just demean your own team by telling them that everything they've achieved was worthless because they've done it in a certain way.
I mean, at the end of the day, isn't it? I mean, at the time... it's a question of respect. Yeah, sure, he'd won the title with Derby County, Brian Clough, but these Leeds players had won the title a couple of times. I think it's twice or three times they won the title. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what's this man coming in telling them this, that, and the other? You know, You know how it's all about football management. I believe from what I've seen, a lot of it is about respect. And obviously, Brian Clough
Don Revie left a huge ghost over the club as
well. And there's also the other factor, of course, a big factor that Peter Taylor didn't travel with Brian Clough.
Yeah.
Peter Taylor was his number 2 at Forest, was his number 2 at Derby.
He came back and was his number 2.
Yeah, but he came back at Forest, and then actually they fell out before the end of his life. But I mean, without Peter Taylor, Brian Clough, a lot of people argue was not the same manager, and they'll highlight the Leeds example as a good example. And your final one,
number 1, is Paolo Di Canio at Sunderland.
Yeah, that wasn't great,
maybe
was it really?
The maddest manager of all time. There's a point that was bound to be controversial when you consider that he was a self-proclaimed fascist.
Yeah, it doesn't really. Fascism doesn't really go down well with the fans. I don't think.
But to be fair to him, he did show a lot of passion as manager. In his first game, he'd always tear up
a lot
his
of
suit,
fascists have shown a lot of passion before, not necessarily in good ways.
But I mean, he alienated a lot of people at the club very quickly, didn't he?
Yeah, I get it.
And after a poor start to his first full season, I mean, he wasn't going to last very long.
I think I saw a comment, I think it was by Wes Fotheringham, who's a Swindon Town goalkeeper, who said that he always thought that Paolo Di Canio's methods would never work at the very top. And again, it comes on to the idea of respect. It was basically saying that with the egos in the Premier League, Fotheringham was saying to the press that he never thought that his style would work. I mean, he worked the players so hard. Apparently, he'd have them in training 6 days a week when it's usual to be 5. And not quite Felix Magath, I'm sure, but I think he was. Maybe people just, I don't know. I don't think they obviously found it very hard to work with Di Canio. Who wouldn't, frankly?
That's very true. And I had one I missed from the start. Steve Coppell at Manchester City.
Stevie
October 96 and November 96. He only lasted 33 days and 6 matches as manager. After his first match in charge, Coppell uttered what was thought to be a throwaway remark when he said, "They call Manchester Madchester, and now I know why." Just over a month later, with City languishing 17th in Division 1, he resigned from the post, having been overwhelmed by the stress of his responsibilities, apparently.
Well, I know Coppell's had troubles with stress before. I remember watching that on Premier League years. Yeah, he was literally only there a month, wasn't he? Yeah. Coppell does seem...
He did a good job at Reading, to be fair.
Very good job at Reading. He did also... I remember Bristol City hired him, didn't they, as a sort of technical director, and he left due to stress-related problems. He's gone around the club, Stevie Coppell, but he did do a very good job at Reading. He's one of those football managers that certainly got pedigree. Apparently a very intelligent man as well, actually. A very intelligent man. So... yeah, very interesting. I'm going to go on to... we can confirm now, and we have got the pictures through. This is live. Can I say news. Breaking news here on the radio show? Wayne Rooney has agreed a new 4-year contract extension with Manchester United and will also become a club ambassador when he retires from the game. Michael, what's your opinion on this?
It's a panic, I think, from the club to give him that.
300k a week,
is
that right?
Was what was reported. That puts him on the same level as Messi and Ronaldo in terms of how much he earns, which he is not anywhere near as good a player as them. I think it's because he knew how much we rely on him now. He knows how desperate we are, and we had to keep him. I think if Ferguson was still in charge, he probably would let him go.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I remember in their last season, Ferguson made a point of saying, we are not, Manchester United will not let, I refute, will not let Wayne Rooney go. He's not going, he's not leaving. Yeah. So you say that, I find that quite... I disagree.
I don't think he would have given in with that kind of contract.
I think £300,000 a week for anyone in any walk of life is just. I mean, Heisenberg,
Stupid.
He would be thrilled with that, wouldn't he? Walter White would be.
Oh, that's pennies on the dollar, mate.
Well, that's true. Walter. Well, I don't know if Walter. I'm not going to do any Walter White impressions or a Gus Fring impression on this show. No, I mean, it is...
I still think it's good for a club, though. Like, if we take the wages out of it, he's a huge player for Man United.
He's a statesman of the club, isn't it? I think he will probably...
And that'll probably be him seeing out his career there.
He will probably become Manchester United's highest ever goal scorer, won't he?
He will. He'll probably overtake Bobby Charlton's record, which in a way saddens me, but in a way it doesn't, because that means he's scoring more goals.
Wait, doesn't he have to say, if he ends up being Manchester United's best ever goal scorer, then you know... You've got to look at him.
You've got to say he's a great player.
From
an objective point of view, yeah. I mean, in terms of goal scored, he did start at a young age. Fair play to him. But I think I don't know if his heart's not really in United the whole way, obviously. But he's getting 300k a week. Fair play to him. His agents managed to get it for him. So
fair play. I mean, the agents absolutely they know what they're playing. They know they've got a good bargaining position with Wayne Rooney. They know it.
That might keep Van Persie a bit happy as well.
Well, you might. I have heard rumours of a £15 million move back to Arsenal. Can you believe that? Well, I mean,
he's got like 3 years on his deal. We wouldn't sell him for.
How old is he now? Is he 30?
He's 29.
29, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that you never. The thing is, you'll never get a double-digit.
He doesn't rely on pace.
Well, no, he doesn't rely on pace. This is true. But he is injury prone. We know this. He is. I think last season was really, and the season before were really the only 2 seasons where he hasn't been affected by injuries. Yeah. I just think that's how it's been. Anyway, what I'd like to see now is Paulinho. every week,
Hand it
we're
over.
going to give Paulinho a little bit of time to
This
have
is
a
a new
rant.
segment.
It's a new segment.
Well, everything's a new segment this week.
It is, yeah. And
Last week.
it is.
Spotted
And,
say it, then.
I've said to Paulinho, I said, listen, Paul, I want you to rant. Just
We're going to go topical.
go topical, well, please.
Topical and local.
Oh, fantastic. Bring it on.
Well, last night I was at the Coventry versus Warwick ice hockey varsity match.
Yeah, so I went last year. I had a fabulous song.
I went last year. I wanted to go this year, but tickets had sold out, unfortunately.
Been for the last 2 years. Absolutely brilliant. We've won both times. Battered them. Last night, the result didn't matter. To be honest, we lost. But the thing I want to have a little bit of a moan about is the Coventry students last night.
Oh,
No, I don't want to get on
He's
it.
having a go at our own here. He's having a go at our own.
Turning on us.
He's turning on our own.
Now,
Please
now, I
continue.
expected a lively crowd, a team, a group of fans that would get behind their team,
Baying for victory.
a team that played well. They were very unlucky, but they have some new players in. I understand that maybe when they're not used to the varsity
ice.
situation, not used to the ice,
It's a different type.
possibly. But
Never
you've
know.
got to say that I don't know how many people play at one time in ice hockey, but add one to that number. There wasn't that sixth man last night.
not
That
the
seventh
sixth
man.
man.
That nth
No
plus
Troutback.
one
No,
man.
that 12th man at Old Trafford or that 12th man at Portman Road in the North Stand, raging on town to get that winner. Absolutely, Paul. And
That-
I'd like to follow that up with your sixth second
Well,
review
the
of Sheffield
6 second Sheffield
this
United
week.
review.
Yeah, this is another segment where every week I give Paul 6 seconds. to
It's all
review
I'm
Sheffield
worth.
United seasons. Here you go. How are you doing?
Oh, can you no?
He wants to do it again. Right, sorry, Paul.
I wasn't. No, wait, hold on. Okay. I'll say go myself, and then
Okay, Paul,
okay.
over to you.
Right. Nottingham Forest battered. Other one battered.
There
we go.
He's out of time. But
Great.
back
I'll
to-
get better at that. I'll get better at that.
He
I
wants
think,
to do
the key thing we're taking away from that is battered.
Yeah, battered.
Sheffield United. I'm going to extend this by just talking a little bit more. We are on the up. 4 wins in a row. We're into the quarterfinals. Are we going to do two good? The good week, good bad week. Yeah.
Good week, bad weeks to finish the
coming
show.
up
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well,
it has
hold
been a
off
good
then.
week for
I'll
the
hold
city of
off then. It's
Sheffield,
been a great
but,
week.
That's for later on. So now I am going to play another 90s song. This time we're going to play some Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Not always my thing, but I think actually tonight I'm feeling like it might be a Michael Jackson sort of night. So I'm feeling Michael Jackson music tonight.
Now, big statement coming from Thomas Stewart. Sonogo over Wayne Rooney.
Sorry?
Yes,
No go over.
I completely disagree.
absolutely
I think
agree with that.
99% of fans would disagree with that. But,
Oh. No. The Man
I think
United fan,
Sonogo's got the potential.
Sonogo did put in a
but
good
he's
performance. on
nowhere
that.
near. where he
Not
is.
right now.
I'll leave.
Not now,
I'll
anyway.
leave you guys.
Man United are a sinking ship as well. That's what he says.
I will leave us to debate that over the break. When we come back, we are going to read out. Earlier this week, I asked on the Facebook group a number of questions, and one of them, which I thought everyone would really enjoy, was what song describes your season, and I'm going to read a few of the best of them out. And then also, I am going to go on to something called chess boxing. Are you intrigued? I hope you are.
Oh, yeah.
If you are intrigued, please keep listening. As I said, I'm in a Michael Jackson mood tonight, so I'm going to play you Michael Jackson, Black or White, on Source Radio Coventry. Welcome back to Source Radio. I hope you enjoyed that song. I really enjoyed it this week. So, I would just like to read out. We've had a few interactions on the social media, I believe, Paul.
Yes.
Yes, we have.
That's good to know.
This is good to know.
We have.
What have people been saying?
What have people been saying?
This is a good question.
Good question. Oh well, this Jonah has said
Oh,
this.
Jonah sent me. Hello, Jonah. How are you doing? All right, mate?
Oxlade Chamberlain, best winger England have ever had.
Have ever had.
Yeah.
Jonah, I'm going to disagree with you.
except maybe Sturridge if he were to be played on the wing.
Well, listen, I tell you, Chris Waddle, Italia 90, flying down that wing with a mullet.
Chris Waddle.
What can anyone say? Did he win the European Cup with Marseille?
Oh, Not a Premier League manager,
okay.
but Jamie Pattle says Steve McLaren, the Brolly incident.
The Brolly incident, no, we can't ever forget that horrific
with
night.
his accent?
What about Steve McLaren at Forest? Wasn't he at Forest for a couple of weeks and then buggered off?
FC
possibly,
20 was it?
possibly.
FC 20, that was an accent and a half.
His accent, you put on that Dutch accent.
Oh.
That's a shocker, isn't it? That's an absolute shocker.
And then Sean Mobsby, Reading fan, had to pick apart Brendan Rodgers' performance as a manager. Said Champions League in 3 years, he almost took him down to League One.
I do remember this, when Reading were in the Championship. That was when Reading were in I believe they gave him the job towards the end, either the end of one season or mid-season, and from what I remember, and then he left Watford to take the Reading job, didn't he? That's right. He left Watford to take the Reading job. Failed at Reading, and then went to Swansea, and then it's been up and away since there.
He also brings up Steve Coppell at Bristol City. I think it lasted a week, didn't he?
I think
did we mention that?
He mentioned Coppell at Bristol City. Well, that was a good one. No, I don't know if he was manager as such, but he was certainly involved at the club there, wasn't he? He was something. He might have been manager. I can't remember. I thought he might be. He's either technical director or manager.
Oh, and Gab Poyser as well. It says Dominic at Spurs. Whatever. I don't know if I'm saying that.
No, Dominic wasn't manager, I'm afraid.
No,
I think he means Jacques Santini. Yeah,
Jacques
Santini. Yeah, absolutely right. Of course, Martin Jol got the job after Santini decided to leave
that was
the
the
job.
contrast, when Santini was the ultimate defensive manager, and they got in Jol, who became the ultimate attacking manager, and they completely changed.
Completely changed. Right, okay, what we're going to do now, we have got about 12 minutes left on the show. So last week, as I said, we put up I put up a question saying what song would you decide your season, and we had some fantastic responses. As an Ipswich fan, at the time I was dreaming of the playoffs. There was no David McGoldrick injury. Better times, simpler times. A rock and roll January 2014, or was this February? Early February, first half of February 2014. It was on the 14th, so rock and roll Valentine's Day. That was a quiet night in the King household. Now, as an Ipswich fan, I said it has to be the heaters on. Unfortunately, now I might.
Unfortunately, the heater's now off.
The heaters, Everybody Hurts REM would be more appropriate. Yeah, it's pretty chilled now. The David
some great suggestions though.
Perhaps tepid.
Tepid, or lukewarm if we're going
yes.
down that way. Now, my personal favourite was this one. Ben Stratton put Portsmouth, somebody that I used to know. I thought that was fantastic. I really like that one. Gab, and a cracking one from Gab here. Hot and cold, Katy Perry for Watford. I thought that's very true, considering their season.
Reece Jones, a Swansea City fan, said Dire Straits, money for nothing.
I think that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Arsenal, the Four Tops, are you man enough? Jamie Pattle, another absolutely classic one there. Michael, yourself, of course, the only way is up for United.
The only way is up.
Only way is up. What's about Paul there? But are you put on for Dream On?
Dream On by Aerosmith.
The dream is on now.
I meant it ironically. but
it's taking a very more
now?
literal sort of meaning now.
How many points off the playoffs are you now?
About 15, but we've got 17 games left.
In Football League, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah,
Big Nige is behind the boys. We're going to do it.
And also, I'd like to read out Matt Mallin put MGMT Kids Life Under Lambert, and I also put on there for Norwich City. I just had to read this one out. Norwich City Road to Nowhere. Not that I'm biased at all. Right, now we also mentioned we're doing this thing every week where we look at obscure sport. If this sport were to be on the channel, referring back to Dodgeball the movie, it would be ESPN8 The Ocho. We are talking about chess boxing here. Michael, what the hell is chess boxing?
Well, I'm still not completely sure on it, but chess boxing apparently is a hybrid sport that combines chess and boxing, as you can tell by the title,
chess boxing,
in alternating rounds. The sport was seen for the first time at a boxing club in South London after being conceived by siblings James and Stuart Robinson, both keen amateur boxers and club chess players.
No, can I ask, that's quite a weird sort of thing. To be a keen boxer and a keen chess player.
It's amazing to me. You wouldn't really, in a Venn diagram, you wouldn't really put boxers and keen chess players together, would you?
They just wouldn't overlap.
But anyway, the structure and the rules. A full match consists of 11 rounds, 6 rounds of chess, each 3/4 minutes long, and 5 rounds of boxing, each 3 minutes long, 4 minutes under amateur rules. The match begins with a chess round, which is followed by a boxing round. Rounds of chess and boxing alternate until the end of the match. There's a 1 minute break between each round, during which competitors call out and change gear. Rules of fast chess are used, and a competitor only has a total of 12 minutes to use for all his chess moves. Players' chess time is measured using a chess clock. A competitor may win the match during a boxing round by knockout or a technical stoppage by the referee by achieving a checkmate, or if the opponent's 12 minutes run out during a chess round, or by the opponent's resignation at any point.
That sounds fantastic.
That sounds like an amazing sport.
I want to find out where I can go to watch some chess boxing. Paul, you must be engrossed. This is fantastic stuff.
I am absolutely bewildered. I do not believe what I am hearing.
No, I'm seriously the same. I cannot believe what
I'd love to see the training sessions where you're doing the punch bags and then you're just sitting down and like having a cheeky game of chess as well, just to keep your mind going.
Just to keep the mind active, you know. You've got to be active.
I wouldn't mind a midweek game of chess boxing. I think we should.
Should we set up the chess boxing society at the university?
Definitely.
Let's go chess boxing. Next week we're going to find. I'm going to promise you, we'll find something even more obscure than that. Right, we've got 5 minutes left to show. Around 5 minutes, more like 7. I'm going to play a song. Then we're going to just round up the week with Good Week, Bad Week, and we'll leave. The last song we'll play is New Order, World in Motion. Now, this one goes out again to everyone out there who misses the 90s and the Britpop era. Fortunately, we haven't got any Blur tonight, so I'm going to have to play Oasis one more time. I was supposed to play you 2 Oasis songs. I played you 1 and a bit. Because of problems.
We'll get a bit more variety next week.
A bit more variety, yeah. It's at the moment we're using sort of...
relying on this computer.
Relying on computer which has music put on it. Next week we'll have our own source of music, don't worry. So I am going to play this song though. You might get annoyed with me playing another Oasis song. If so, I'm sorry, but you can't get annoyed with this one on a Friday night. The bevies are being poured all around the nation from Land's End to John O'Groats. It is time for She's Electric by Oasis. Welcome back to the show. Now, as I said, we're very, very close to the end now. Sorry, I had to cut that out a bit early because we're running out of time. We've only got 2 minutes left. Very quickly, I'm going to do a segment at the end of every week's show where I say good week, bad week. Who's had a good week? Who's had a bad week? So we'll start off with good week. Barcelona. What a week for Barcelona. They shut Mourinho up. They made him look like a fool. It's been a good week for Brendan McCullum, the New Zealand batsman who became the first ever New Zealand player to score a triple century in a test match. The city of Sheffield.
The red half.
On the red half. Well, we're going to say the potential for the city of Sheffield
overall,
because the city of Sheffield has a chance of a cup quarter-final. Neither side in the Premier League or the top tier of English football. Yet there's a good chance that one of the Sheffield sides will be represented in the FA Cup semi-finals. It's been a terrible week though for Martin Demichelis. He's had a terrible week, and let's just be honest. If we ever see him in a Man City shirt again, it'll be too soon.
I mean, it's been a terrible week for the English clubs in Europe in general. Really.
English football's had a poor week.
The only technically English club that did well in Europe this week was Swansea, the Welsh team.
Well, they got a good point with Napoli, and they will take
excellent
that.
point.
Good home 0-0.
Bad week. It's a terrible week for QPR in the Championship, losing 3-1 at home to Reading. And people are asking questions: are they actually going to get automatic promotion? The amount they spent, it actually looks like they're going to be missing out on automatic promotion, which is not good. And Ipswich Town, my own team, what a terrible week we've had. David McGoldrick, 16 goals, one of the top scorers in the division, out for the rest of the season. I tell you this right now. When you wake up as an Ipswich fan on a Monday morning and see that on the news, it is a little bit heartbreaking, especially after 12 years in the same division. So, hey-oh, there we go again. Next season, all tab. Thank you for listening to us tonight. It's been a fantastic show. I've really enjoyed it. Sorry, we've had a few hiccups at points, and I promise it will get smoother as we go along. I'd like to thank Sideshow Paul and Michael.
Thank you, King.
The Tib and the King and Sideshow Paul.
Sideshow.
To play out the show, and I've been promising this, so promise this online. If you're listening online, you might have seen on the Facebook group, I promise this song. It is a classic football song, absolute tune. I hope you know the rapping words. You've got to hold and give. You've got to do it at the right time. It's World in Motion by New Order. You have been fantastic, audience.
Good night, everybody.
We have been, let's just say, semi-capable hosts. Good night, everybody. Have a good one.
Same time next week.
Same time next week.